All right, guys, in today's video, I'm going to discuss what I would do if I had to start over from scratch as a real estate agent or if I'm in the midst of my career, I feel like I'm stagnant, I feel like I need to grow, I feel like I need to stop, pay attention to what I'm doing, and really evaluate my entire business, my branding, my business model in general. First thing I would do is, number one, I would evaluate my brokerage and my split. Okay, do I like and feel confident with my broker? Because that is part of the product that I'm selling. For example, if I were to sell markers, but every time I use this marker, I know that it's just kind of washy, that it dries out too quickly, it doesn't last. When I go to try and sell this, internally, I'm going to be like, there's a mental block. I'm not going to feel confident selling something that I really don't believe in. So I would evaluate my broker and I would say, does my broker help me? Does my broker give me guidance? And is it worth the 70-30 or 60-40 that I'm paying? Now, I could talk about this all day long. I would not be paying more than 70-30. Like, that would be the bare minimum for me. Just FYI, I don't care if I'm brand new. Now, this is going to go off into a tangent if I keep breaking it down and talking about splits and buyer leads and working for a team, et cetera, et cetera. But let's just make sure that we trust our broker. By the way, your broker's not going to make or break you. So let's just start there. Do I like my split? Okay. Now, how would I dictate that? How I'm going to figure out whether I like my brokerage or my split? I would, while I am studying for my real estate exam or I'm 3 to 5 years into my career, I would say, you know what, dude, does my broker actually give me 30% worth of value? Like, if I make $100 grand GCI, my broker takes $30,000. Is it worth that 30 grand? You have to answer that. If not, I would go back and try and renegotiate or I would go interview five different brokerages out there to see what feels the best. Side note, I have a coaching client who's a one-on-one student. He said, Nucci, I went on a listing appointment the other day for $3 million. The guy said, I'm leaning towards another guy. You guys have a similar approach. And I said two things. Number one, if you have a similar approach, you did a bad job. There should be nothing similar about your approach to another real estate agent. That's number one. Number two, what you need to realize is it's not the presentation that you brought. It's not the folder. It's not so much the price and the commission. It's your energy. That's how I picked my broker. I'm like, okay, Douglas Elliman's big, Compass is big, Sotheby's is big, Keller Williams is big. Why Douglas Elliman? Because my broker is genuine. I felt like she cared. I felt like if I called her, she would help me. That's number one. Number two, I would look at my branding, okay? And I would take a look at my website. I would look at my logo, my business card or cards. Side note, if you guys are going to change brokers or if you just know that in your heart of hearts that you are going to start your own brokerage at some point in your career, do not put your company email and or phone number, which that's a little bit more rare nowadays, but don't put your company stuff on your personal business card. Because if you leave, they have all of your leads. If I meet John for $2 million in January, I leave my brokerage in March and he sends me an email in June, it's going to go to my company email and they're going to give the lead to somebody else if I left my brokerage or if they fired me, which if you get fired, you're an idiot. But anyways, the other thing that I would do too is I would have my own CRM. Like, I would have my own CRM separate and I would have my own phone number, my own email on my personal business card. And again, I'm giving this is like a split video. This is like for new agents and medium, 100K earner agents that are just kind of stuck in this rut. Now, third thing I'd be doing, I would be evaluating my farms. What are my farms? There should be 3 to 5 areas that you absolutely smother with your marketing efforts. You should be circle prospecting that area. You should be cold calling that area on a weekly basis. You should be doing postcards once you get a listing there. And I would commit to postcards for 12 to 18 months at minimum. I would also be door knocking. I'm just going to put DK. I would be door knocking. And if my office or even somebody in my brokerage or honestly, even a competitor has a listing there, I would do an open house there. And I would do this every single weekend. I would have absolutely no life. I would not be chasing girls. I would not be chasing guys. I wouldn't be worrying about football games. Wouldn't be worrying about clubs. Would not be worrying about the new restaurant. It would not matter to me at all. I would be solely focused on becoming as good and as powerful as a real estate agent as I possibly can. Because if you guys want to get rich and you don't want to just join real estate to fuck around, this is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to invest a lot of time and energy and resources into perfecting your craft and building your personal brand, not going out and drinking and effing around. Okay, I'm not gonna apologize. I'm not sugarcoating this. Okay, I'm telling you guys right now, from somebody who makes $1 million a year over, this is what it's going to take. Okay. And I remember making 40 grand a year. I remember struggling. I remember not knowing how to cold call. I couldn't leave a voicemail. This is what you need to do. How are you going to dictate what the 3 to 5 areas you're going to farm are? I would say within 30 minutes of your house, 30 minutes of home. Okay. And I would find something that's attractive. Maybe it's $1 million and up. Maybe it's 500K and up. But where attention goes, money flows. I would not spend any time and energy on anything less than $500,000. If you only call $1 million properties, you're only going to get $1 million opportunities. So just call $1 million properties. Now, side note, side bonus again. If you don't know the process, if you don't know the process of a real estate transaction, from getting the appointment to going on and presenting the contract and putting it in the MLS and doing like the bare minimum, don't call $1 million properties. Don't waste this kind of person's time. Go understand the process. Shadow somebody if you have to. Biggest thing I would tell you guys to do is, well, I don't know why you're watching these videos every single day. It's because you want mentorship. This is what I would be doing. Now, what I'm not going to show on this video is like the deep detail and intricacies of what I would put on my website, advice on the logo, fonts, this and that. That's for paying customers. But I will give you the broad overview of what you should be looking for and looking at. Okay, now, this is I'm going to erase this. Maybe we can get a screenshot of this in the camera. I can put it up at another point in the video, but just take a picture of it if you guys want right now. I'm going to keep going. To add on to the farming, right? I have my 3 to 5 areas, right? 3 areas. Now, I would find 3 places within those areas to nest. What do I mean by that? I'm talking about the coffee shop. I'm talking about the gym. I'm talking about a dinner spot where it's high end. I don't care if it costs on average $250 every time you go to dinner here. This should be your marketing budget, and you could just say that this is your $3,000 a year budget on marketing for just dinner. And then maybe your gym membership is $200 a month. Who cares, dude? You're investing in you. This isn't spending. We're investing. And I would find the dinner spot. I'd find the gym. You just go to the gym like it's normal. Same day, same routine, every day, same time, whatever. Coffee shop. I would pick like every Tuesday at, I don't know, 9 a.m. It's coffee. And every Thursday at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. or every Wednesday at 7 or 8 p.m., I would say that's where you go to dinner at the same place at the same time you do happy hour every single time. You need to understand that what I'm showing you with the farming, there's a psychological reason behind it. Okay, for example, if I'm going to just cold call 1 to 3 different markets, like very, very, very consistently, I need to do that, because if I sprinkle my efforts here and I sprinkle my efforts here, I'm going to get diluted focus. I'm going to get diluted results. There's no way of getting like known if I call an hour in here and I call an hour over there and I go here. It's like if I go to a restaurant once a month at different times, I'm never going to see the same waiter. I'm never going to see the same people. I'm never going to build rapport with anybody. Same principle applies with calling a certain farming market. Now, this is for circle prospecting and like nesting and farming, right? There's 3 areas. But when it comes to expireds, when it comes to for sale by owners, dude, call everybody. Call anybody within a 45-minute drive of you. Hell, I'll drive an hour for a listing appointment. I don't give a shit. But when I'm farming like specifically and spending money and investing money into certain areas, I don't want to just like call all over the place. It's not going to work. It's not going to make any sense. Now, okay, to keep going, I hope you guys are taking notes. Okay, the other thing I would do is, I'm not just saying it to say it, I would find a mentor or somebody to help you understand this game on a level that you've never even, understood or could comprehend because you just don't know yet. If you're brand new or if you're at 200 grand a year or 300 grand a year, you're never too good for mentorship. You never should stop learning. I still pay for mentorship. And again, you guys see what I've done in my career. and I'm not even 30 years old yet. There's so many unknown variables that you don't know. It just helps you steer clear of roadblocks and helps you get there a lot faster. And that's, again, like time is more valuable than money. Time is a finite asset. So it's more valuable than anything in the world. So if you can get somewhere faster, I would do that. On top of mentorship, as a supplement, I would be shadowing and offering to work for free from somebody at my brokerage who's very good at what they do. Because there's certain things that when you mentor with me, I just can't teach you because you're not with me every day, right? Like I'm going to offer you role play sessions. You're going to get coaching on listing presentations and cold calling and handling objections and the whole nine. But you're not going to see like how somebody books. Like I learned something very valuable that's kind of like stupid, but it's not stupid. Like I shadowed a real estate agent back in the day, and she would show me how she would like send calendar invites to book appointments with people so that they wouldn't forget. My whole life is off of Google Calendar. Like if I don't have a Google Calendar invite to go out to dinner with my girlfriend, it's not happening. I don't care. There's nothing that's on a whim. It's always structured. It's always planned out. So shadow somebody, work for free. Do not focus. If you're on the first side of the segment here, the people that are brand new, not the people that are making 100, 200, 300. If you're on the left side here, I would be figuring out how to learn the most important things in real estate before I figure out an income goal. Now, again, what I would do is I would start setting goals, targets, and I would think 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year. Okay? Think about what you want to get done within a year, and I would break it down into 3 things. Maybe it's spiritually, physically, and your income. Okay? So, spiritually, income, physical, SIP. Maybe you want to lose 10 pounds, maybe you want to gain 10 pounds of muscle, whatever it is. You guys have to understand, when you're watching this and you're watching me, I'm not just saying, yeah, you got a cold call, yeah. No, you need to be a fucking psychopath. You need to want it more than everybody else. And your actions need to align with that. So this is going to show you exactly what you should be doing and how you should be thinking about your day-to-day schedule. Now, okay, now this is what you're doing. You're farming, you're cold calling, you're nesting, you're networking, you got your goals, you got your targets. Now, another thing we can do to kind of just figure this out is your schedule. Are you willy-nilly? Like, I'm going to tell you my old schedule that I followed for a very long time. 5:30 a.m., gym, right? That for an hour, and then in between, I'm not going to write it down. I'm just going to explain. It was just like gym, come back, shower, whatever. I would work from 7:30 to 10:30 a.m. every day until I spoke to 20 contacts. Then after, I would eat, shower, change. I would get to the office. I would say, let's say by 11, I'd get to the office, fresh outfit, go eat, and then I would look at, the MLS, I'd look at Zillow, I'd look at my listings, I would review what's going on, I would send emails out, I would do administrative work. 12, I would have lunch. Okay. Then, that half hour, no 1 hour bullshit. Then 1 p.m., I'm doing follow-up. Okay. That would last a half hour, an hour. 2 p.m., I would start circle prospecting. And in between this, guys, like at 7:30, I'm calling expireds. At noon, I'm calling expireds. At 2, I would circle prospect for an hour at one of my farming markets that I'm calling. And then at 3 o'clock, I would start calling expireds again. Now, between 4 and 7 p.m., I was on listing appointments or I was calling. Listings or I was calling. That was it. That was it. 4 days a week. I wasn't perfect. 4 out of the 5 days. If you want to be successful, dude, you follow this 80% of the time, you will win. You don't need to be 100% perfect. 100% is not going to happen. If you want to go really psychotic, I would be reading one book a month on personal development or social media or brand building or sales or something pertaining to how you can improve. Now, the biggest thing you need to take away from all this is you're developing a whole new mold of a human being, a whole new identity. You're becoming more disciplined. You're becoming more structured. You're becoming a better salesperson. You're becoming more hungry. You're becoming more valuable to the marketplace. And with that, you're going to become busier. You're going to have less time to do certain things. And this is what it's going to look like. And all of the, I know some of you guys are watching, you're like, holy shit, like I have a team, I'm making 200 grand a year, I'm brand new, I wanted to join mentorship, I can't afford it, blah, 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 blah. It's not can you afford it, it's can you afford not to? There's many different ways to figure it out. If you guys needed to come up with 10 grand to buy something for 50% off, like a $20,000 Rolex, you would figure it out. But you won't figure it out for your future and your career. It makes no sense to me. Like, it makes no sense. If I learn how to make $10,000 a month every month for the rest of my life, I'm good. If it costs 10 grand to do that, great. It doesn't cost 10 grand. I'm just saying, like, the ROI is infinite. It's not scalable. It's not measurable. This was just like a high 10,000 foot overview of like what I would be looking at and what I would be doing in my day-to-day and analyzing to become a successful real estate agent. Like, that's it. Cold calling, networking, social media. Again, like one of the things that's not in this, like this is like the daily schedule, Monday through Friday. On Saturday or Friday, the only thing that would change on my Friday is this bottom half from like 1 o'clock on. Instead of doing follow-up on Friday, I would get a haircut, and then I would film content from like 2 o'clock. I don't know what that is. From like 2 to like 4 p.m. was content. But anyway, that's like high overarching 10,000 foot overview of what I would do if I was a real estate agent starting off, or if I'm making 200 grand a year and I want to fucking pop and explode. I would evaluate everything. I'd reassess everything, change my goals, change my farming markets, maybe hire an assistant, hire a coach, and I would just fucking sprint to the finish line. I hope you guys enjoy it. We got 3 different cameras right now, totally different experience. We're gonna keep improving as we always do. That's the number one thing. Never stop learning. Never stop trying to grow. Never get comfortable. Keep going. And again, I read all of your guys' comments. I may not respond to it if it's something stupid. But if you guys have something of value, or you want to see more content like this, let me know. DM me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram for the Real Sauce. Like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on the notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.